What up, though? For those of you who do not know me, my name is Drake, and that's most of you. So my name is Drake. To everybody who's listening, I'm the original Drake. That's what I like to call myself. Not that other guy from Canada whose name is Drake. But I'm just here today. This is an experiment that I'm conducting. I'm just really trying to see what this YouTube thing is all about, and really just creating a video log or blog or journal, if you will, of my ongoings and my thoughts. And one of them is today I'm going to just talk about black male wellness. Black people uh, on a whole need to be more cognizant about their wellness, but I'm talking about my own journey as a black man. Um, I am a heart attack survivor. Let's see, 8 years ago, I had a heart attack. I was 49 years old, and it was, super scary day. And from that day on, I used to smoke cigarettes socially then. I stopped that day. I haven't had one cigarette since. Um, some of my other habits, I haven't really changed so much. And so today, I've really decided that I was going to dedicate this particular recording to the discussion of wellness and maybe really just acquiring some accountability partners as I really try to optimize my health for whatever amount of time I have left doing this thing we call life. Um, Today I woke up, I had myself a oatmeal, almond milk, banana, blackberry, and strawberry smoothie. Um, that was my breakfast. It was great. Then I went off the rails a little bit when I went to lunch with some coworkers. I ended up having stir-fried vegetables with tofu. That wasn't so bad. I had a couple of chicken wings, half of a meatball, and fried calamari. Outside of that, I've eaten watermelon today. Those things, all in all, in the sum, I feel like today was an okay day so far. It's now 20 to 8 p.m. and my only concern is that I go off the rails and eat something late today, which I don't want to do. So I'm trying to get myself trained to stop eating before 7 p.m. Or if I do eat something, it'd be something like fruits or nuts or something like that. Something that's uh, easy to digest and not going to be hard on my system. Um, so I don't know if anybody else out there is trying to recommit themselves to wellness, but I'm trying. And also too, just um, you know, someone sent me a video. Someone near and dear to me sent me a video today on your biggest prayer is answered is your environment. Now, while I thought that was maybe a little far-reaching, because yeah, you can pray yourself out of your environment, but I always think about the idea that God answers all prayers. You might go back to our ancestors and they may say, "Oh, our prayers were answered," but I'm gonna say that the premise of this statement was that you should keep your environment clean. You should keep it in order and orderly, and that is a way of praying and giving yourself to the higher power, which I thought was a very cool thing to do. So, you know, my house, while I think it's in generally pretty good order, could use a lot more order. And it's something that I have grappled with as a kid. So, tying into the whole concept of wellness is order. I want to get more disciplined. After this recording, I'm going to go work out. I don't know who wants to go out, work out, do the same thing I'm doing, but it's something that I'm just really trying to get in the mode of, because I want to be around and I want to contribute. And I want to see more of the world. I want to travel. I want to be here for my nephews, for my parents. I just want to be present. And so, that's what I'm trying to do. I try to take my vitamin D and magnesium on a daily basis. I haven't been taking my multivitamins, but I do try to adhere to vitamin D. I do try to eat mostly whole foods, and I try to eat mostly plants. Try to eat mostly plants during the week. More plants than animals. I don't know if I'll ever go back. And when I was in college, when I was a student at Morehouse, some of my roommates actually, one of my roommates was a partner in a restaurant that ended up opening up 6 or 7 different restaurants across several states, including Washington, D.C., and it was called Delights of the Garden. And Delights of the Garden was a raw food vegan restaurant back in the mid-90s. So I was introduced early on to raw food veganism and vegetarianism. I went out with a girl at that time who was a vegetarian, and it was easy to maintain that lifestyle, but I don't know if I'll ever go back to just raw veganism or vegetarianism. I don't think I will, but I do like the idea of doing plants 80% of the time, or 5 days a week, however you slice that pie, so to speak. And also, I realized that I drink a lot, and I need to stop drinking so much. I mean, when I say drink a lot, I mean like a glass or 2 of wine a day. I want to just I want to get ripped. When I was a kid, and when I was in my 20s, and as many of us were in our 20s, I had a washboard stomach. And now I have the stereotypical middle-aged man stomach, but I am convinced that this stomach, which is indicative of a whole lot of stuff that I'm not doing right, is able to get back to being a washboard again. And that by changing my habits, I can change the trajectory of my life and just feel better. I want to feel better. Like after the last 2 nights, I haven't had a glass of wine. Can I tell you, I slept deeply. I felt really, really good, and really felt more alert and aware and just engaged than I normally do. So that's something that I'm going to try to continue to do. I'm not going to go cold turkey. Every time I've tried to go cold turkey, I splash back. But I am going to try to just curtail my drinking and cut it back more days per week. I think I'm going 2 days. I'll try to go 3 days this week. And then next week I'll try to go 4. But I want to get to the point where maybe I'm only doing it on the weekends. Anybody else out there got any of these kind of issues that you're dealing with, or concerns, or you thinking about making a change and really trying to get healthy? Let me know. I'm curious. I want to know. And I'm not sharing this channel with any of my friends, anybody. I want it to find its own audience, and I'm just having fluid, extemporaneous conversations. This is just me talking. So, that's where I am. I have, a lot to say, but I want to know that folks are out there. If you're getting anything out of this, let me know. And the more we go along, the more I'll talk, and maybe I'll just make it a little bit more formatted so that it makes a little bit more sense. I know I'm kind of all over the board, but I hope that even within that framework, that you get something out of it. So, but I'm pushing myself to do this. Um, Again, my name is Drake. I like plants. I like books. I like art. I'm into wellness. I love to travel. Um, I'm a DJ. I'm an event producer. I live in the Detroit area, and um, I am just doing my thing. And I just want to just encourage everybody who is doing anything. First of all, I'm always encouraging folks to do their own YouTube channel. So if you wonder why I'm doing this, it's because it's something that I encourage others to do. So I figure I can't lead where I don't go, so I need to do it myself. And even if it makes no sense, and even if it amounts to nothing, that at least I've tried it. And there's one more thing I can say I did, and I wasn't scared or afraid to do. I did not want to be hampered by naysayers or the thought that, Drake, that's not going to work. Because there's enough people and enough things out there that aren't going to work. But this is one that's really simple to do. And let's see if it works. And by working, I just mean as if there's somebody out there who is interested in this kind of, discourse or I guess in this case monologue. But it's not a monologue, because once people start, if you join in and you have want to chime in, please do so. I love to talk about financing, stocks, real estate. What stocks are you investing in? What music are you listening to? Right now, there's a couple of hot songs out in the house music community. There's Stacy Kidd's "Let It Blow." There's a lot of controversy around Stacy Kidd, the artist DJ, because they say he's using AI. But there's also DJ Scratch, who has a song out where he samples. He's two songs out. Lyrics to Go by a Tribe Called Quest, which I don't like that song as much. But he also has I can't think of the name of the song. If you know the name of that song, but another song that he samples by a Tribe Called Quest that is fire, super, 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 super hot. Anyway, let me know what you're listening to. I love listening to Cleo Soul. I love PJ Morton. I've worked with PJ Morton. Eric Roberson is my brother. Kim, Layla Hathaway, Charity Ward. If you're not familiar with her, I used to manage Charity. Look her up. And a slew of Anthony David, a slew of other artists, and I'll be mentioning them while we're on this journey. You'll learn more about me, and I'll learn more about you. So anyway, thank you. That's it from me. And please hit the like button and subscribe and join me on this journey of self-discovery. The Black Interior.